Welcome to Nintendo Dads episode 487, recorded on July 18th, 2024. On tonight's episode, we talk, about Nintendo trying to scare us, new Nintendo Switch accessories coming out, and the NES World Championship is out, and we've been playing it, and we've got some thoughts. That, all your questions, and so much more. Jesse, cue the music, huh?
What's up, everybody? It's your guys, the Nintendo Dads here, episode 487. It is the 18th of July, 2024, and we're feeling fine. In fact, tonight, it's the coldest, or the coolest, if you would say that it's been here in Tennessee in a long time. You could say we're literally chilling.
No.
But not like Justin Masson up in the Great White North, where it's probably snowing right now.
We have been in a heat wave actually up here for about 2 weeks where it is hot and sweaty. It's gross. Like last couple weeks or a couple days ago, it was 38 degrees Celsius, which is like uncomfortable hot. It's been stupid warm. So
it's like 95-ish
snow. Yeah, I'd love some snow right now is what I'd love. So, but hey, I can't complain. What's going on with you guys?
That's a fair temperature for a heat wave. I've been one of the people I see on when I go through like Facebook Reels is this guy from Britain who is vacationing in the US earlier this year. You know, experienced our heat waves, and so knows how hot we are. And in England, they're experiencing a heat wave as well. Yep. It's like getting to 80, and they're crying. So we're like,
yeah, it's a different type of heat.
Yes.
There.
Well, we hear that too whenever people talk about different kind of heat between Michigan and Florida, or Florida and Arizona, you know, depending on where you are in the US. It's like a different kind of heat.
Yeah, the last year at this time, we were out west. Doing our great out west tour to the Grand Canyon, Antelope Canyon, Vegas, all that stuff. And it was hotter there than it was here. But the difference in how it felt was night and day. I mean, I could go outside and be fine. I could breathe. Here, when it's, 90 degrees or above, or 85 degrees or above, it's like swimming through the atmosphere in a weighted vest. So, yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
Can I just ask how are you, America, doing? It's been a week for y'all, hasn't it?
It's been an interesting week. Yes,
Justin,
yes.
I'm going to tell you how we're doing. This is the indicator of how we're doing. That tonight Hulk Hogan is speaking at the Republican National Convention. That's all you need to know. Hulk Hogan. What you gonna do, brother, when politics runs wild?
Gosh. And I know, listen, sure, look at folks, this is not a politics show. We like to avoid
it is not.
Man, from a neighbor in the north watching across, I was like, what is going on with y'all?
All right, can I ask, are you guys accepting applications?
No, listen, here's the deal. Listen, we're polite, but we're tired of this. We are tired of y'all believing that Canada can be your refuge for, like, I don't like what's going on here in America.
Canada's going to be like
drive to Canada. No,
Canada's going to be like what we are.
We are not your
Mexico.
default. We are not your default. We are not your somewhat hookup buddy. We're not your friend with benefits. No, that ain't how it's going to work. Aight? Figure your stuff out in your own country. Now, in all fairness, as a Canadian, we are actually accepting of everyone. We are a multicultural.
I just want to say that I visited Canada.
Build a wall between us and the U.S.
I visited Canada 14 years ago, and I found your land pleasant,
yes, true,
accepting, and very clean.
100%. Yeah, that's why we're excited to announce, ladies and gentlemen, right here, Nintendo Dads Conference. Our 10-year celebration is in my backyard in Lethbridge, Alberta. Come on up. We're opening up the hot tubs and barbecue, and let's see what happens.
It's totally fine. I mean,
come on up and stay.
Yeah,
find out.
We're gonna be doing it. We're gonna be doing it right. When's your election? November 6th, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, God.
Nintendo Dads is November 7th is when we're having the conference.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, we're
No,
now, Justin,
the election will be the 5th.
so this on the serious. No, it's been a week. It's been a week. So that's the serious answer.
Yeah.
It does not matter to me what side of the political aisle you fall on. That it's stupid. It's terrible. And that's just all there is to it. And I would say that if it was the other guy too. And it shouldn't stuff like that shouldn't happen, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Nintendo and, potential dumb decisions they're making, or good decisions they're making. So let's dive straight into the news, shall we?
Do it.
All right. Each and every week, our show is brought to us by you guys over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads, where for as little as $1 a month, you get to be part of the greatest community on the internet, along with Rob Yapple, who is our newest patron. And so, Rob, thank you so much. We're going to give you a celebratory woo for that. Jesse didn't know that, but we're doing it. There we go. And so we are excited that you joined up over there. Did you know that if you go to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads, you can join up as a free member. You don't even have to pay, but as a free member, you'll be notified each week when we put out our weekly update, which is free for all over there. But to get on the Discord, to get the full subslated of Discord channels, to get pre and post show audio and be a Patreon producer, you got to go over there and pledge at one of those pledge levels, either $1, $5, $10, or $30. Yeah. Hey, Justin.
Yo.
Should we tell them? Should we tell them about the thing that we got?
Oh, the thing that we got. Yeah,
Did we tell them about the thing we got?
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty cool thing. I mean,
yeah,
we like our patrons so much.
Yeah, we love our patrons. And so here's what we're going to do. Between now and release date of the Zelda Nintendo Switch Lite, which we have a secured pre-order for, we're going to give this away to someone who is a patron of this show. A brand new patron, longtime patron, does not matter. If you are a patron of the show on release date, you will be entered to win the Nintendo Switch Echoes of Wisdom Nintendo Switch Lite. It is beautiful. It is wonderful. And we would love to give it to you just to say thank you for being a patron of the show. And so all you have to do is head over to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads and be a patron of the show, even at $1 level.
Yeah. You know who can't win? Tim. He can't win.
Oh,
he can't win. You know who else can't win?
Jesse can't win either.
I can't win.
Tim, nope.
I mean, I'm gonna pick it up and hold it in my hands for that brief
Take some nice
moment.
photos of it.
Yep.
You know what we should do is you should sign the back of it.
No, nobody wants that.
From Marty Estes. Hugs and kisses.
That would be something that we can
dip it in barbecue sauce so it smells more like you.
We can, Yeah, I don't smell like barbecue sauce.
I don't know. Maybe smoked meat.
Smoked meats.
Smoked meat?
Yes. Smoked meats.
Smoked meat. Oh, I love me.
Smoked meats. That's the name of the show this week. We've already done it. Anyway, head over to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads and sign up. You'll be entered into the contest to win the Nintendo Switch Lite.
Less than 10 minutes. Congratulations.
Yeah, no, it's a record. How many Nintendo Silver Coins is a Patreon subscription? Ninfrendo asks. We don't accept Nintendo Silver Coins.
Actually, but hey, listen, I do like the trucker hat they just issued. So I'm not opposed to that.
I didn't see that, but now
Nintendo NES Championship trucker hat.
Oh,
for 1,200 coins.
Oh,
Did Tim already redeem his?
I didn't know it was there. I'm gonna have to go
He's
look.
going.
Tim's like, what?
Tim, what is on your hat tonight?
I have Kirby's.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
From far away, it looked like a fairy, like laying on its side. Thought you had some like Zelda.
Plus, I have all the Kirby's on my shirt too.
Wow, you're Kirbying it up here.
Today's a Kirby day.
I love it. Day. Okay, yeah. Hey, Justin, that's as they say in the UK. That hat is very smart.
Ooh, or as the kids would say, fire.
It's fire. It's Skibbity Ohio Riz fire.
Don't do that.
It is.
Do that.
I'm sorry.
We've been there already.
Sorry. It's Sigma. Anyway, let's talk some news. Hey, so last week, Nintendo released this mysterious trailer for Emio, the Smiling Man. And we wondered, what is this game? Well, we got our answer this week. Emio, the Smiling Man is going to be the next entry in the Famicom Detective Club series. It is the first new entry in over 30 years, and it will be out August 29th. It is Nintendo's August game, leading us to the end of 2024 and beyond. Long speculation, though, that this was a Bloober team developed title. Obviously, it is not.
Nope.
As well as there's some, I think, disappointment from the internet about this. So let's talk about this. Are any one of us excited about this game?
Yes.
First and foremost.
Yes.
Okay, why?
I am excited for a couple reasons. One, because of the fact that they talked to Yoshio Sakamoto, and when they talked to him, that he said that basically that they learned a lot from the older games, and they had a direction where they were going to go with, and the ending of this game is going to be decisive.
Oh,
or divisive.
So decisive, like
something
divisive.
Divisive is probably what the word I was looking for. But yeah, it's supposed to be why it's got its M rating. So to me, that is intriguing, and I hope that it's throughout the story and all that kind of stuff. And I'm looking forward.
I saw somewhere that this is the 8th M-rated Nintendo game ever.
Really? Wow.
And also the second reason being that it is Yoshio, the person behind the Metroid games, that is working on this game.
The Famicom Club games are not available in North America, correct?
They are.
The first they were not originally. They got a Switch remake 1 and 2 that did make it. Yeah. It was digital only, I believe. I think they had physical in other regions.
I feel like the build up for this hype was too short. Right? It was the one who is. I kept thinking it was Elmo. Honest to God, every time it was I thought it was who is Elmo. I was like
the most non-threatening name ever.
I don't know what's going on here, right?
Yeah.
But it was like a week, and we were all like, "What is this?" And then all of a sudden, you're like, "And here's a trailer." Like I felt like you could have given us a couple more scary scenes or clips or something to really get us intrigued, and then reveal the kind of the build, the hype, the reveal was really disappointing. I felt.
Yeah.
But also someone mentioned, it's the August time slot, right? We said before there was no big game from Nintendo. I don't think it's a big game, but nothing from Nintendo. And so there it is.
So Jesse, was the remake, or the re-release here? Was it a remake? Did they redo parts of the game, or did they just release it like the NES game?
No, it's all HD graphics. And translated for the first time. It doesn't look like an NES game. It's a modern game.
The big criticism I've heard of this, number one, is that it wasn't something that was spoopy, and that it wasn't like a new IP.
Yeah. They wanted a Bloober Team game.
Yeah. The second criticism that I've heard is that in Famicom Detective Club 1 and 2, that the puzzles are really hard and are really obscure. Like that, you almost have to have a guide to be able to play the game.
I remember I was listening to, I think, NWR talking about one specific puzzle. You talk to a girl and she's like, "Leave me alone." You talk to her again, she says, "Leave me alone." So, okay, she repeated text, you walk away. What you had to do, talk to her about 3 or 4 more times, then she starts talking. That's a bad
that's
puzzle.
called harassment. That's not okay. No means no.
Justin, this was made in the 80s. That didn't exist back then.
Wow. Yeah,
apparently not. I just don't know. My question is this: why was this not shown during the direct?
Probably weren't ready to.
I think they wanted the spoofy type of trailer to do the talking,
and it probably wasn't when they had their deadlines for what's going to make it to the trailer. It probably didn't make it, or make it to the direct. So
Well, if this is out in 5 weeks, I'm pretty sure it's gold or really close to it.
Oh
So
yeah, it's absolutely done.
But yeah, I think well, the way they did it, they got more people talking than if they just said, "Oh, and here's something that we haven't done in 30 years."
That's true. That's true.
No one would have
Can we all
cared
agree
at that
that
point.
if it was like, "Who is Elmo?" that would have also got us talking.
Yeah.
But
If they had
Elmo with a bag on his head?
just had Twitter, like if they had just had tweets and social media posts for a few weeks with the hashtag "Who is Emio?"
Yeah.
And then like slowly revealed like the man with the bag on his head with the weird smile, that would have gotten a ton of people talking for longer. And then they dropped it. It's my question is this: at this point, with it being so close, Jesse brought up, that's probably already done. Do you think that we get some kind of like mini direct for this on its own?
No.
Because they didn't even show off gameplay footage in the trailer, did they?
No.
Well, I think I don't think the showing gameplay would do anything. It is basically a visual novel point and clicky thing. So if you've played other Famicom Detective Club games, it'll be more of that. So I don't think it's a very story heavy game. So I don't think the showing gameplay would do anything. In fact, it'll probably turn people away.
This is exactly what Nintendo Switch needs right now, right? Another visual novel. Because we don't have any of those. I don't know. If this
There's some
is
good
for
ones
you,
out there.
If this is for you, great. I'm excited. This is where we would play Justin's clip. If this is your jam,
Right?
what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
If this is your jam, you are screwed up.
Wow.
Well, this is my
so
jam, and I'm
aggressive.
excited for it.
Okay.
'cause
All right.
I am looking forward to it and looking forward to the story and what they learned from what they did 30 years ago and what they're applying to it now with the gaming techniques they have today.
I love how people in our chat that runs. By the way, if you're a new listener to the show, we record this live on Twitch, YouTube, and X. X is coming back. We had to abide by Elon's new premium thing, and it didn't work
good
tonight.
now.
Oh no, it has an error. It's not
failed?
working. Yeah,
Oh.
probably because we have to redo the link. But anyway,
Also, I was going to mention about
So,
the disappointment.
Mhm.
I was going to mention about the disappointment that everybody had. Again, it comes down to everybody's own build up to what they were expecting,
Sure.
and then we're let down.
Yeah.
And then also, which one does everybody want when everybody screams about seeing samey all the time from Nintendo, and then here they go back to the well. May not be the game they wanted them to go back to, but they go back to the well and work on a game they haven't worked on in 30 years.
We haven't seen silly Nintendo in a while. I think this is getting close to getting silly Nintendo back. Yeah, we
Possible.
saw that a lot in the GameCube and early Wii era.
Yeah. I would say this too is what I was going to say about the chat was I love how people assume that I've never played things. And I want to say to Mecca, I have played Ace Attorney and it's fantastic. I love it. Surprise. But anyway, I played all three of them, beat them all.
Why is
There's 6 of them now.
I didn't
Or
do.
there's
I didn't
8
do.
of them
Well,
now.
there are 6 of them now, right? I did not play the Apollo Justice ones. I started 4, but then I quit. But I do have I do have it on Switch. I plan to go back to it at some point. But anyway, it's not amazing, but it's okay. Anyway, let's move on. In other news, the ESRB made a big oops this week in rating
Again.
Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. They revealed that Link will be a playable character. So, all of you fanboys who are out there crying because Zelda is a girl and Zelda doesn't have a sword, well, guess what? You get to chop things up with Link too. So, there you go. Probably ruined a surprise in the game. Stupid ESRB.
Or it might be like the first 10 minutes of the game before he gets...
Can I say what I think it is?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I think that you're going to alternate back and forth between them as Zelda heals the rifts.
I think that was actually what I was thinking too, and I think that would be cool.
I like that.
So she's on an adventure and he's on an adventure.
And
See, this is
together,
what-
we're on adventures together.
See, this
By
is what
their
I was
powers
saying.
combined.
This is like Skyward Sword, but it's not Link focused, it's Zelda focused this time.
Yeah,
They both have their own adventures. We just didn't see what she did.
I like it. But anyway, it's another Zelda game. It's going to be awesome. I don't care what people say. I don't know what people are upset
Most
about.
hype game for me.
Yes, I'm
There's
very
no other
excited
game
about
that
this
I
game.
am more excited about right now.
Cool. Love it. Other news this week with not a lot of news, guys. Let's be honest. There's not a lot of news, but just some other little news beats that we want to hit here. There is a new Pokemon and Crocs collaboration on the horizon. You two can say, I choose shoes with 4 Pokemon Crocs that are $70
Oh my
for a
god.
pair of
How much
Crocs.
Crocs are normally?
No. Oh, you used to. Well, I mean, I know that
Listen,
inflation has
we
happened,
got
but like,
Canadian conversion. All
but
right,
look,
back off.
Crocs used to be $34.99 here in the United States.
Any
that
of
was
them
when-
that have the characters on them are doubles essentially.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, classic Crocs right now are $50. Holy cow!
I just went to Amazon, and the top 3 or top 4 sponsored links range from 36 to 45.
So
And this
there's
is like, I don't know if it's still Prime Day. No, Prime Day's over.
Prime Day's over. They cut it off. They're like, yeah. So anyway, these new Crocs, there's 4 different kinds, 4 different flavors of Croc, if you will. They come in Jigglypuff, Charizard, Gengar, and Snorlax, each with 2 gibbets. So with Jigglypuff, you're getting a music note and a Jigglypuff gibbet. With Charizard, you're getting a fire gibbet and a Charizard or gibbet. With Gengar, you're getting something that looks like slime and Gengar. And then with Snorlax, you're getting a line of Z's and Snorlax for $70.
Legitimate question. How much would we have to pay for Patreon for you to wear these for an entire month, Marty?
Me?
Yeah.
That's a new tier.
But like, could we, like, I'm just saying, like, Marty does an unboxing of Pokemon Crocs, and for an entire month has to wear them.
If we get 10 new patrons, I'll do it.
Folks, listen. He just said 10 new patrons. Y'all, $1. $1 is all it takes. All right.
10 new
he's
patrons.
locked it in.
10 new patrons. I'll put up a poll. I will buy the one that gets the most votes, and I will wear them for a month.
Come on, folks. You can do it.
That's fine with me. I'll take pictures of them. I will pose. I'll steal your girl. In them anyway.
What?
Why can there not like there needs to be a Pokemon now that wears Crocs? Like, I think that should be the other side of the coin. Like, the Crocs have had Pokemon on them. Now the Pokemon need Crocs on them.
And it'll be a gator type mon.
Crocosaur.
Marty must wear more than just the Crocs.
What do you mean?
Yeah, we're not just saying it's just Crocs.
Oh yeah. No, it's not naked Croc time. Nah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
getting a little aggressive up in here.
That would be a Manscaped ad for sure. It would not be good. Hey, Justin.
Hey, Marty.
This next one I really want to throw your way and have
Okay.
you talk about this a little bit. Nintendo of Europe tweeted earlier this week announcing a brand new Joy-Con charging stand that honestly looks like it was 3D printed in a back room at Nintendo.
Yep.
It's not great. Nintendo of America has tweeted about this tonight.
Yep.
As of right before recording, and has announced that this will be available October 17th. They very specifically mentioned that this charges Joy-Con and the Nintendo NSO controllers, the NES
Yep.
controllers, showing it off next to a Switch in tabletop mode, playing Nintendo World Championships, obviously. Why 8 years into this are we finally getting an official charging stand from Nintendo? By the way, why in the world did they make the charging plug of it on top? What's going on?
there are so many questions I have to this, if I'm being very honest with you. Also, like, in all fairness, I think Power A actually has a charging dock that is like Nintendo quality seal of approved supported. So this just sort of feels
that
like
charges more than one set of Joy-Cons at a time.
More Joy-Cons, and I believe also Pro Controller, because I'm pretty sure I have it actually here at the house.
Yeah, I have it sitting right here with Pro Controller and 2 Joy-Cons.
It's pretty killer. I don't know what was like, bless her heart. Just don't know why. It just feels like this is the weirdest timing ever. Now, I think it looks great when you're like, hey, and by the way, it's beside these Joy-Cons for the NES. And by the way, here we're showing, there's a lot of additional product placement in there, right? Here's the NES Classic or NES World Championship. Here are the Joy-Cons associated with it. Here's some other colored Joy-Cons. So you did a great job in advertising that. And if it was out now, you'd be like, okay, I guess they're just helping to promote it. It desperately just feels like they're like, hey, do you remember that product that we actually made about 5 years ago? Totally forgot that actually we've had it in the storage facility for the last 5 years. And we kind of need to move these. So
the odd thing about this, I just dropped something in the chat for you guys that Nintendo has on their website. If you search Joy-Con charging dock, one of the first Google searches that comes up is a Nintendo.com store page for a Joy-Con charging dock for $30 that charges 4 Joy-Cons that ironically now is currently unavailable. Yeah. It is sold out.
It doesn't.
This is like in official Nintendo packaging.
Yeah.
If you look at Power A did make this, but this is not the one with the Pro Controller.
Pro Controller dock either. It legitimately, it almost feels like somebody had forgot that they had actually placed the order and printed it. And now we're like, oh, sugar, we now have to actually move these things.
It also looks to me by their official pictures that the part that the Joy-Cons click into on the rails can be removed from the base and you can use it as a controller while it charges.
Yeah, I did see that. And I thought, oh, well, that's an interesting.
Which is fun because I don't know if you know this, but they do have a rechargeable, like, what do you call the grip? The charging grip? Yeah, that you can actually plug USB-C into and charge that. Yes. And Joy-Con can charge while they're in there. It will not let you play while it's charging. That has been available since day one. Almost.
Yeah. So it's I don't know. Like, this feels like here's the scenario I see this occurring, right? So follow me on this. I have two sets of Joy-Cons. One of them is on the dock and they need to be charged, right? Or I have another set of Joy-Cons that aren't charged, but I need to play using them. It's just the weird, it is just, bless their heart, but I don't fully understand. That's all I got. So, like, good on you.
The conspiracy theory,
like, why did this take 7 years?
This is the conspiracy theory. All right. The conspiracy theory is that the Switch 2 has different charging rate or different Joy-Con rails.
Sure. Yeah,
meaning that you cannot charge your Joy-Con by attaching them to the system. However, they will connect for play. What do you think?
That's interesting. Well, like, here's the thing that we have heard, right? Is the rumor that we have heard is that your current Joy-Cons might not attach to the new Switch 2, but the Bluetooth connection should work. Right. And that your current, I don't know if it's Bluetooth, whatever the connectivity is.
Yeah, it's Bluetooth.
Right? Yeah. And that your Pro controllers should work. Right. And so I wonder if this is sort of a way of saying you might be getting rid of your original Switch, but by the way, you should still have something to charge your Joy-Cons. And this is a really handy option.
That's the only way to charge a Joy-Con because it doesn't have a USB-C port.
Oh, that's a great point. It's also the only way to charge the Nintendo Switch Online NES controllers.
Ladies and gentlemen,
to a Switch.
We've just cracked the code. So they're really future-proofing themselves of their backwards compatibility. Ladies and gentlemen, that is breaking news here on Nintendo Dads. We have done our due diligence. We have sleuthed the internet. That's what's happening. That's what's going on.
So my question then is this. Let's take it a step further.
Oh my God.
Are we seeing news about Switch 2 around that time?
Yes.
And they could say,
Likely.
hey, don't forget, this charging dock will charge your controllers.
I love it if
on
it's
this
like
new console.
I love it if it's like the release trailer is the day before the drop. And it's like, also, yeah, exactly. Did you see that this comes out tomorrow? You should purchase these things. And you're like, oh my God, I didn't
pre-order
know.
it tomorrow when you pre-order your Switch, or get it tomorrow when you pre-order your Switch 2. I mean, there's got to be a reason for this to exist and for them to put energy into producing it and selling it.
Yes, 100%.
So I mean, I don't know if it's Switch 2, but there's got to be a good reason. Anyway.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of like Nintendo tweets, Jesse, can I share my screen?
You should be able to.
Awesome. I just want to validate that before I go and try something. Oh, where is my share my screen? Oh, there it is. I apologize.
They moved it on you.
No, yeah, they did, really. This man's energy and this man's shirt, I'm all for it.
I want that shirt.
That's exactly it. Internet, if you know where, and I know that this is a mock-up, if you know where there is what appears to be a blooper Hawaiian t-shirt in green or Hawaiian button-down shirt, y'all need to send me a message.
And I need it made. I need it in big guy sizes. I don't need
if there's an Etsy store that's doing this, I need you to contact me. All right, because whatever's going on right here in Luigi's life, I am for this energy.
Also, can we talk about the drink? Can we talk about the drink?
What do you think that is? Some kind of
green glowing thing with a cherry and ice cream on top.
I bet you your man's throwing in some like lime.
He's been to Sonic. He's been to Sonic.
Yeah, it's like Necto cooler with cream. Cream.
You know what this is? This is confirmation. You're gonna see where this goes in a second. This is confirmation. Luigi's a Mountain Dew dude.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
That's 100% Mountain Dew. You son of a
hey, did you see the follow-up picture that's right there under it?
Under it.
Do you see it? You need to see that picture. Yeah. It's the opposite side of the picture.
It's the opposite side of the picture.
There's the fireworks going off. The boos are watching Luigi watch the fireworks.
What? Oh, wow. It's
Luigi's I feel like Mansion. Hey, Luigi's Mansion 4 confirmed.
I feel like I'm in Inception. I don't know what's real and what's not anymore.
Luigi's Spooky Beach Adventure. It's coming.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
Let's do it. I am all about it.
But legitimately though, if anyone knows where you can actually get that, like, do hit me up because I would purchase that.
Me too. I'm all for it. Here's something I'm not sure that I would be for at all. Right. This is also some news this week. Nintendo will sponsor a Nintendo World Championships NES Edition tournament featuring various Hololive VTubers.
Sorry, say again.
Tournament will be broadcast on July 29th at 8 p.m. JST, which I believe is stands for Japan Standard Time.
Yeah, so it would be like midnight the day before or something like that. I don't know. I don't remember the exact.
So basically, Justin, here's what this is. This is people who have fake avatars on YouTube of anime girls playing Nintendo World Championships. Yeah. Okay, your expression says it all.
And I figured that would be the case. Yeah,
but this is going to be on the Hololive YouTube channel, which is that. I mean, it's kind of a big deal, kind of a big thing.
I just feel like I'm getting to an age now, right, where I don't understand.
Yes.
Well, that's okay. There are other people who do understand, and so there's some different. Hololive is like a company that hires these girls to do these characters. Then there are multiple companies that do this in Japan and in the US. So one of their competitors is Niji Sanji. So when Pal World came out, all the Niji Sanji fans are telling their talent, don't play this game. We want to be on good standing with Nintendo. And Hololive is like, oh, we'll play what we want to play. We don't care. So they got the Nintendo deal. So Niji Sanji fans are upset. So I think that's funny. That little piece of drama I think is amusing. Anyway, so the the participants of this championship game is Korone, Okayu, Pecora, and Luna with Fukubi hosting. In case you all know what those are, if you don't, they're anime girls.
I think Jesse just made up words out of thin air.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fact check that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna.
That's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
One of these days, like Nintendo podcasters will get asked to do something like this. You know,
in all fairness, we're pretty lucky for some of the stuff we get.
So absolutely,
I'm not gonna be upset by it, and I don't think
let the VTubers have their game. That's fine.
Yeah, let me just throw my Mario Kart jacket back here again.
Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous.
So sweet.
That I did not get to be.
See, I tried putting that on the other day before recording a show.
Yeah,
it was too damn hot for that. No way. I cannot wear this now.
I need like them to send me one of those just because
it just sits on the back of my chair all the time. That's it.
Okay.
And I'm like,
cool.
Sometimes I'm like in a corporate meeting and like put my arm up like this, and all of a sudden there's like a Mario Kart like slippery banana poking off on screen, and I was like, someone's gonna have me one day. Hello.
We should order one for Marty and send it to him from the Nintendo store.
No.
I like that idea.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do.
I like that idea. Steve Cullum in the chat, good friend of mine who is also a Nintendo podcaster, by the way. He says we should organize a Nintendo podcasters tournament.
Slide into our DMs, Steve.
Yeah, let's make sure that happens. How about that?
That is how, interestingly enough, fun story for those of you who remember Nintendo Dads lore. That's how Marty actually ended up on our show. Was Nintendo Dads versus Reactor Radio Mario Maker Levels.
That's a name I've not heard in a long
actually how
time.
Marty ended up on our show is we were doing a podcaster feud where levels were sent back and forth and someone had to complete them.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
and the reactors lost, and that's why Marty ended up over here.
Exactly.
He got traded.
I was the bounty. I was the prize. Hey, some game releases we want to let you guys know about as we round out our time here in the news. Today, out right now, if you haven't heard, Nintendo World Championships NES Edition is out right now. It's available on the eShop for $30, or you can go and try your luck at your local store and pick up the collector's edition, which includes some pins and some art cards. This sweet Nintendo replica cartridge with the acrylic stand. And the game itself, it's $60. I really do feel like these are probably available in places. I pre-ordered mine, but there are folks that are having some trouble getting theirs. Steve was one of those.
Did you see the back of that cartridge?
So, yes, I love it. It's fantastic. By the way, I wanted to shout out their podcast. Steve is on Nintendo Fuse with Barry and Greg over there. And you don't know Barry from being here because of premium edition games. So go check out Nintendo Fuse too. Anyway, also out today, Bo, Path of the Teal Lotus, and we've got a video of that up. We'll talk a little bit about that here in a minute. And SCHiM is also out today. Out soon, the new Denpaman comes out next week on the 22nd. The Star Named Eos is on July 23rd. Arranger is out next week, July 24th. Also, Emio, the Smiling Man Famicom Detective Club, is available for pre-order right now on the eShop, as well as Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. Zoraldo. Out later, also Super Mario Party Jamboree, which was rated by the ESRB this week, and Mario and Luigi Brothership. All those games from Nintendo are available for pre-order on the eShop as well. And you can check out videos for NES Championship Edition, which we did an unboxing and a first look of, Bo, Path of the Teal Lotus, and SCHiM over on our YouTube channel right now. Hey, Justin, are we taking a break this week?
We're not taking a break this week.
Fantastic.
Let's jump right into
let's talk about our Let's Discuss. All right, guys. Nintendo World Championship coming out this week has got us thinking, because as soon as you pop that game into your Switch, and turn it on, or launch it, the first thing you're greeted with is single player, or one player as it's called, or party mode, which allows you to play with 7 other people as couch co-op. And it got me thinking, I thought this would be a great question for this week's show. How do you prefer to play your games? In other words, what is your preferred method for playing video games? Is it single player, couch co-op, online multiplayer, tournaments, maybe something else? I ask you to give us an answer and why. In a little poll over on our Discord, 13 people said single player, 4 people said online multiplayer, 2 people said tournaments, and we didn't get any votes for couch co-op and maybe something else. I know it says 1 there if you see that post, but that's just simply because the thing gets created.
Yeah, the bot creates one of each.
Yeah, the bot voted for it.
I was the bot. That was no bot that made that. I made that.
Okay. So
I was the bot.
Single player is the definite winner. So you guys had a ton of opinions about this. Let's read through these. Here are your responses. Jamie says, I'm mostly a single player when it comes to games. Online multiplayer doesn't really interest me apart from games like Tetris 99 and F-Zero 99, where it's still a single player experience, but you don't have to organize time to play with everyone. I can totally relate to that. Drew says, monthly mayhem. That's it. That's the yeah.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, that's it. Also, speaking of which, we're going to talk about monthly mayhem here in a little bit. Spider Shan says, most of the time I play single player games. However, lately I've really enjoyed playing multiplayer with the community, like NSO Fridays and Saturdays, BG3, Baldur's Gate 3. It's nice to chat and play a shared experience like I did playing NES with friends growing up. My family doesn't all like the same games anymore, so couch co-op isn't as frequent. Darth Platypus says, most games I play end up being single player. It lets me play when I'm ready, even when my internet decides it doesn't want to. Next would be couch co-op. It's great to play with one of the kids or the whole family. Mecca says, I prefer playing single player. Honestly, don't have time these days or to be an expert or pro in any game. Even multiplayer ones, I usually try to play for fun or to kill some time during the day. Dave Bileka says, I prefer at this age, 44 this Thursday, by the way. Happy birthday.
Happy
David.
birthday.
Happy birthday. 44, we don't really celebrate anymore. It's just, yep, you're one step inevitably closer to death. At least I'm 44 now too. So there you go. He says, I prefer at this age to play short single player experiences, but I will say over my whole gaming career, couch co-op has provided the most memorable and meaningful experiences. I feel like it has been a little lost to time a lot these days is online focused, but I wish all companies, including Nintendo, would fully realize couch co-op potential / possibilities even in today's gaming landscape. Zablanc says, I'm a single player man because, oh man, when you have many kids, you have to pause a lot, man, unless it's Helldivers. Victaris GX says, a couple of years ago, I participated in Enhance's Tetris Effect Connected Tournament. I had a great time, and it's got me interested in doing more Tetris tourneys. Otherwise, I'm mostly playing single player and Battle Royale multiplayer. Solo says, I enjoy my single player campaigns and talking to others playing it at the same time for shared experiences and tips along the way for bosses. Couch co-op happens seldom around here, as my son has his group from school now and has Roblox. Online is fun in Discord when it can happen, as is now limited at times by party count limits. And I don't know. Yeah. Helluva prefers more online together groups, raids, etc., as opposed to me versus you type online. May seem sad, but to this day, I cherish my time in World of Warcraft raids. Such a special time with people in the guild. Solo is Leroy Jenkins confirmed. Beer Cerveza says, my honest answer is anything alone without interruption from the family. Wow. Hey, thank you for that honesty. Seriously. But he says, based on choices, my answer is online multiplayer, preferably Fortnite. Lunchbox, also known as the Disgruntled Gamer, says single player or multiplayer does not matter as long as I'm having fun. Quinn the Wicked, who is Jacqueline Amira, that's our Patreon producer, Jacqueline, says single player. I think I already explained why last time I was on the show. And Quag311 says, I like couch co-op with the kids, but I mostly play single. What say you guys? What is your preferred method of gaming?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm single player. Y'all know that. I never bought Mario Kart and had to have Nintendo give me a code when we played together with the last meet and greet we had with them.
Yeah. You know what? I would say I do more single player gaming. I don't know if I'd say it's my preference. When my kids were younger, I loved playing video games with them. They're kind of drifted out of that phase now, right? Like we'd be like, hey, let's do Mario Kart or Mario Party, or let's play a game together, and they'd be kind of all in. Bless me. Now they're not nearly as much. So I sort of miss that, right? Of like, hey, let's play a game together. But I also like every Monday I play, an online shooter with my friend Jeff, right? Whether it's Fortnite, Apex, Overwatch, and it's like 2 hours of just us connecting, and that's kind of like our time, and I really enjoy that. So it's a real challenge of like what my preference is. I think with like a lot of, I find if I'm gaming with somebody else, I'm like, are you enjoying the game? Are you having fun? Like I'm caring, like I want to check in with them. Like, oh, I hope you'll enjoy this, or I hope you're not bored of this. Where I'm just like, hey, if I'm just in my own single playing mode, man, I love that, right? And you can just kind of, like when I'm bored, I'm done. So it's hit and miss for me for sure. But I would say the majority of my gaming is single player now.
Okay.
I feel like I suck at multiplayer games.
Yeah, and we've watched you, and we'd agree you do.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yep. So no, I don't play them enough, but I appreciate it though when I get to play, when the community invites me to play, and they understand I suck at it, but they help me along. And whenever my daughter comes to join in, she helps carry me. So like in Fortnite. So beer's on, he knows.
Yeah, I tried to play Fortnite with my son and some of his friends about a month ago. Well, I guess it was when the season started. So yeah, it was about a month ago. And we were playing squads, and they spent all their time healing me.
Yeah.
And I think that I'm okay at Fortnite. Like I'll pull out several victory royales each season. But my son's like, "Oh, your lobby sucks. You're not on our level. You're bringing our lobby down." And yeah, for me, I say single player because I like to win, and I get intense when I don't. Like we can't play Overcooked here at our house.
Yeah.
Mario, like Overcooked at my house is like a video game version of the bear.
Hands. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, what can you not understand? Chop up the tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
And then they set the controller down, and they're like, yeah, we're not doing this anymore because we're playing for fun, not to be yelled at. It's not a job.
Why are you so mean, Dad?
Yeah, well, yeah. Okay. So yeah, single player for me. And that, can I make an observation is that like most of us in this room or in this, on this show, most of us, at least I think probably all of us, we all came from an era where single player was king.
Mm-hmm.
It was the way that you played.
Yep.
And so that's going to be our preferred method, right? Mostly because we didn't like grow up in that. Feel like Bane, I was molded by it.
Right.
You merely adapted it. The multiplayer and online gaming is the new single player, right? Like it's like now popular games are multiplayer first, single player second, where it used to be, this is a single player game and it has a multiplayer component too, second. And so I think it's that we live I don't want to say like it's like we speak a different language, but it's a different time, it's a different culture. And Mikey Burgett in our chat makes a great point here. Multiplayer for us growing up was standing in line in an arcade.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
It was still together. It was gathered around putting a quarter up, right? Like I got next.
Queuing in.
Yeah. So I mean, X-Men, Killer Instinct, Simpsons arcade game, Mortal Kombat
Mortal
2,
Kombat.
Street Fighter. That was our multiplayer. And so that's a great point. I just think some of it is generational, and I think probably there's a lot of people that answered this question that are in our Discord too that are similar in age to us, and so that's why it's skewed single player. Yeah, Tim.
I was going to say, besides the multiplayer, I've leaned more towards the single player games because I felt like I was getting more of that dopamine hit from that stuff anyways. But I've been thankful to the community for, getting me more involved in the multiplayer, especially since, our families don't play as much as we just talked about together. Like Justin, when you were saying, all the kids are playing their own things and they're all going online. And I do prefer playing more of the co-op multiplayer games. So when you're working together, like we did on Friday night or Saturday night main event NSO for the Four Swords, which I'll talk about later. But, we all got together online, played that together. And then the night before, that's when I got together with Beer and Episode and my daughter and myself when we played Fortnite. And they were helping me be able to get Magneto. So that's the stuff I do like. They know I'm not a very good player, but they were like, yeah, let's get you that thing. And, let's go do this. And then once they helped me out, then we were helping them get their stuff, their quest knocked out and all that kind of stuff. So that stuff to me is more fun than just, like to say you're kind of alone type of multiplayer, running out there and single player just trying to survive type stuff, because I know I'm not going to win that one. But if it's more of a squads or trips or duos, then I'll have a lot more fun with that.
Yeah, that's a good word, Tim. I definitely, if I'm going to play online multiplayer, I want to play with people I know, right? That we and that's kind of been a downfall of since getting decent internet, is I've not been able to do that. Like I've not engaged in that. And maybe that's something that we need to bring back and do some more. So great answers to the questions, guys. We don't have any rumors this week, but it's time to take a timeout.
Do it.
All right, Jesse, what you got this week for your timeout?
All right. So one of the benefits we get at work is, people can give us rewards. Like we did something to help out a project and they say, okay, we'll give you 100 stars or whatever. So we can redeem them in for like gift cards or other merchandise. So I had 450 stars queued up and we redeemed them for $450 of Amazon credit. And with Prime Day, I figured it's a good time to order this. Finally got MetaQuest 3 came in today.
Oh, nice.
So with tax, I only had to pay like $22 out of pocket. So I haven't fired this up yet. I just, it's still in its original box. I haven't taken it out yet. So I probably won't have a chance to play with it until the weekend. But yeah, I got a new toy to play with.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Can I make a recommendation for you?
Always.
I think that you should. This is not going to surprise anybody. You need to get Power Wash Simulator for that because it's the same game, okay? But in the VR experience, it's really well done. It's really cool.
I imagine it would be, but I figured that's a lot of holding my hand up and waving it around.
It is, and I will say that there's no walking. The way that it handles movement is pretty smart. Like it's kind of like it's like a flick and land.
It's like snap movements. That's common.
Yeah, it's snap movement, but you can look around the whole thing. The really cool part about it though is that your person, when you look down, it teaches you to do this. You look down at your waist and you have a tool belt on, and that's how you get your nozzles and you get your stuff, and like you click it on to the wand and everything. It's really well done. Yeah. I thought
Nintendo asks VR Picross. I'm like, I don't know. I'll look.
You gotta try Beat Saber too, just cause. Beat
Yeah,
Saber is fantastic.
I've played a little bit of it, but the problem with a game like that is if I don't know the song, it's not going to go well, and I don't know modern music. So I
There's
think
there's the new stepping one. Did you see that one? It's like almost like Dance Dance Revolution, but instead of the Beat Saber with the sabers, you're using your feet and you're stepping on
is that
like
the one
squares that come in.
Adam talked about on his show? He said it felt like dancing.
Probably.
It might have been.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Okay, good deal. Okay, so my timeout this week is actually another board game. I'm glad that we have this little segment here so I can share with you fun little games. This is a game that I discovered recently through some friends online, and it is called Incan Gold. The game is the premise of the game is up to 8 people can play, and over 5 rounds, you are exploring an ancient temple. And the way that you do this is each turn, you take your meeple, your little wooden piece that represents you in your hand, and you decide if you are going back to camp or you're continuing to explore. Everybody declares at the same time. Once you do that, you turn over cards one at a time and you decide each time. So you turn over a card, then you decide. You turn over a card, then you decide. You turn over a card from the deck and build a path through the ruins. You'll find one of 3 cards. You'll either find a treasure card, which has a number on it, and that number of gems are distributed evenly between the number of people who are playing. So I say, for instance, you draw a card that says 17. If 4 people are playing, each person gets 4 gems, and 1 remains on the card because it wouldn't, it's fairly distributed. Another type of card that you can draw is a yellow bordered card, which is an artifact. There are 5 artifacts in the game. They all count for a certain amount of points at the end or treasure at the end. The last type of card is a red bordered card, and it is a hazard. And the way the game works is you continue through the path until either all people have chosen to go back to camp and bank their winnings in their tent, or you get 2 of the same hazard in the row. So like 2 snakes, 2 spiders, 2 fire, 2 mummies. And what happens then is everyone is scared back to camp and they drop all their treasure. And you don't get anything. Where the little twist in the game comes in is that any of the gems that have been left on the card because they're not able to be fairly distributed, or any of the artifacts that pop up along the way, the first player to go back in that round gets all of that.
Oh, it's sounds
so
like
it's kind of a pressure luck, kind of a stab people in the back, because if 2 people decide to go back, or 2 or one or more than one decide to go back, all of that treasure is evenly distributed among them, and nobody gets the artifacts. And if everybody goes back to camp and the artifacts haven't been claimed, they get shuffled into the deck, and it keeps building up. And it's just really, you can play it in 15 to 30 minutes. You can teach somebody in about 5 minutes or less. This game is gold. Pun intended.
Incan Gold.
So it's Incan Gold. You should check it out. It's made by it was developed by Alan Moon, who, if you're a board game aficionado, you'll know is the guy who is responsible for Ticket to Ride. So I wholeheartedly enjoy this game. We played it for the first time tonight, and my kids were begging to play it again, which doesn't always happen. And so simple to learn. My son destroyed us because we all went back and he kept turning over cards and getting the treasure with nobody to split it between. So he just got it all. So at the end of the game, he had like 60 treasure. And the closest person was like 43. And there's different colors of the little gems. So like turquoise are worth 1, obsidian's worth 5, gold is worth 10.
Like
and
rupees.
So you can trade them in during the game. And it's really cool because it comes with this little pop-up. It looks like a folder, but you fold it out and it's an actual like paper tent, and you hide your stuff in there when you bank it. So people don't know how much you have until the end of the game.
Clever.
Yeah, so it's a little cooperative, but also a little backstabby, which is always fun. So I think people would enjoy it, especially if you've got older kids who can understand, a little more complex rules or competitive. Check out Incan Gold. It's on Amazon.
I am loving Marty's board game corner. Last week we talked about Ticket to Ride Legacy.
Yeah,
just about purchased it based on your commentary,
dude. I'm telling you, if you have a dedicated group of people,
like if you have challenge right now,
if you have 3 or 4 people you can play it with, and like do 10 or 12 games, I forget how much it is. It's so worth it.
Yeah,
so worth it. So is Risk Legacy. Also, I want to make mention of this while we're in the neighborhood. There are 2 versions of Incan Gold that are out. There's an older version. It has recently been updated and kind of reprinted. The difference is that the decision phase to go or stay used to be handled with cards, and those are included in the updated version, but you also get the wooden meeples, and it just looks different. It has a little better components. So be sure which one you're getting if you go to purchase it. I prefer the meeple version.
Hey, Justin.
Yeah.
One option, I don't know if your family would be up to it, but if you have a place like this in your city, but I know when we went over to Windsor, there was one there. So I don't know like I said, I don't know if there's any on your side of Canada. There is a cafe where they have board games where if your family went with you, because they're all older, where you guys could potentially test out some of these games, because usually a lot of these places have like every board game.
Yeah, no, we definitely have those. It's actually not we have a ton of Marty and I are very similar. I literally have a room full of board games.
Okay.
We are a board game family.
Yeah.
And so we have friends who play board games. We have a group that we've typically been playing with, but the last little bit they haven't been as consistent. So I was like, I want to do this game with y'all.
Yeah.
Because I was super invested, and then I was like, I don't know if they're.
Well, I knew you were into board games.
Say.
I thought maybe you weren't sure about it, and I thought
would
be a good way to go test it out.
Oh no, I'm sure about the game for sure. I'm not sure about the group. I guess is more what I'm saying.
All right, gotcha.
The people I want to engage in, and if they're going to be as consistent as I want them to be. So, yeah. But no, we actually do have a place in Lethbridge called Round Table, and board game place. Love board game.
That's
places.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, that's our timeout. Here's what we've been playing. Justin.
Yeah.
Let's let you go first. What you been playing?
Sure. So I've been playing a couple of games. Let me actually just look at my Switch here right now. Right now, for the last little bit, I've been playing some Nintendo World Championship. We're going to talk about, I think, we're all going to have a conversation about that, I think, though. So a couple games that I've been playing. I played SCHiM. That came out this week. We have a first look about it on our page. You can take a gander of that. I'm going to say right now, it is very artistic. In a way that I was sort of not anticipating. There is an entire story, no dialogue, no pop-up boxes, no VO, but just a really compelling kind of emotional story about someone who's like growing up and their lives changing and some events in their lives that occur. So very heavy artistry. As a matter of fact, I want to think they were nominated for like an award recently in some like country in regards to like emotion, like storytelling, essentially via SCHiM. And so SCHiM is where you are the kind of the shadow jumping between other shadowy places to get to an end goal. And it does do that. And there is some little puzzle elements of it of like, hey, I need to get over there. And there's a car that comes this way. Okay, so I need to jump in the shadow of that car, right? Oh, but by the way, there's also streetlights. Oh, shoot, I need to figure out how to turn the streetlights off. Right. So maybe I need so there is some puzzling to it. Not nearly as much puzzling as I sort of thought there was going to be. But that's sort of balanced out with the story, which was really quite emotional and compelling, which I didn't anticipate. So it's a very cool game in regards to sort of this playing with aspects and playing with kind of shadows. It's neat. I would say this, of all the games that came out this week, and we have to recognize that this week has been a banger of games, right, that have come out. I would like, if I'm going to give you a couple games I played. SCHiM would probably be I think it's probably good on a wait list, right? Like tag it, flag it. When maybe you have no other games, this might be something to come back to, or maybe it's on sale. That might be when you want to pick it up. Is sort of my commentary on SCHiM. It's cool, it's good, but I don't know of everything else that's competing for my space and the games I'm playing right now. It's not the game I'm going back to, right? So that's sort of the telling of it. The game I am going back to though right now is Path of the Teal Lotus. This came out yesterday. The art style is Okami. Very, very watercolor art style, Japanese kind of folklore. You are a fox creature-ish that needs to go on these quests. You can see there's Metroidvania elements for sure, no doubt, absolutely. There is Hollow Knight kind of combat portions of it. There's Ori, and the Will-o'-the-Wisp, the other game. Like it is absolutely fantastic. I have loved my time with Path of the Teal Lotus. If I'm gonna recommend one of those two games, it's to get for sure, undoubtedly. Tim, I sent you a message like, this is a Tim-ass game. Tim, y'all need to be playing this. Yeah, I'm all in. Like this game has been on my radar for a little bit. I will tell you, interestingly enough, I'm about an hour and a half into it, and I find the bosses are definitely challenging. You're gonna die a couple times. You unlock skills right as you go into this world. You're kind of like, oh, I need to get over there, but I can't because I only double jump. I don't have a dash. Sure enough, of course, you defeat the boss. That you get a skill. Oh, I can now dash, right? So it's that I know I can't get there, but I know I'm going to get there eventually. And so you're building these skills. But I'm now at a part, I'm going to almost say like, if you were putting into chapters, this is sort of chapter 2. And I'm in an area where I'm in a boat and you basically, like when you jump, you can hit these things that then kind of like you bounce off of, almost like the ducktail bounce, right? And then you can boost to get to where you need to. And I'm looking at the enemies around me, and I'm looking at this thing that I know I have to jump to bounce to get on to move forward in the screen. And I can't reach it. There is no way I can reach it. Like there's no enemy I can bounce off of. There is no dash there's no ability that I have. And so I was getting kind of like quite frustrated and annoyed. And I was like, there's something I'm missing. There's obviously something I'm missing. I actually jumped onto YouTube, and it came out on Steam as well. And somebody did a walkthrough, and I was like, okay, so I'm going to fast forward to this. What am I missing? In the Nintendo Switch version, they're actually missing an enemy that needs to be in front of you to bounce off of to move the second enemy. But in the Steam version, it's there. So I'm at a spot right now, and I'm like, I actually can't move forward.
Game breaking bugs are fun.
I was like, it's a game breaking bug. Everything else about it, man, I am loving and enjoying, and the game is amazing. But this is a definite bugger of a bug that I can't go any further. I can't work around it. I'd be interested, Tim, like if you're playing it, because I know you have the code as well. If you get there, if you experience, like, surely we're experiencing the same bug, right? Like, I would suspect, unless I don't know. So it's crazy. I don't know if I should delete the file and try again, but I suspect the bug is there.
I hope not.
I'm getting to a point where I'm gonna actually probably just take some screenshots and send it to them and be like, y'all, what's up with this?
Right.
Because there's obviously a piece missing here that's pretty critical for this. Other than that, though, man, is it fun. I'm absolutely adoring it. And I think I would highly recommend and the Teal Lotus, but maybe in a week from now if they patch the bug. SCHiM was also really good as well. And then, of course, NES Championship I've been playing. I played about 30 minutes of it. I guess if we want to have that talk now, what do you want to do?
Yeah, I think that's a good time to talk about it. So, yeah, Nintendo World Championships is out right now. Yeah. I think all of us have a copy of it, so we can all talk about it if we have had some experience with it. Justin, you've played about 30 minutes. I've probably played about an hour. including the 30 minutes I did of our first look over on YouTube. Tim, have you been able to dive in a little bit?
I haven't yet. No.
Okay, Jesse, you
I have it on deck
Well,
though.
I'm about maybe 30 or 40 minutes. I think I've
Okay.
done near 60 of the mini
Oh,
games
wow.
so far. At least I got, I unlocked one that says you've done 50 challenges. I'm like, cool.
Yes.
You're able to mark pins as favorite, so I put that one as my favorite one. And then later on, you got 50, basically 50 challenges where you got A or better, aka 50 other pins. So I'm like, okay, that's my new favorite one.
Right. So,
And then I've done a few levels after that.
diving into this game, when you first open it up, you are made to try the speedrunning mode, which is the single player, but not before you pick your avatar and a kind of a byline for that. And I thought some of those bylines were pretty, or some of the slogans or whatever they were pretty neat. I mean, they were like, never played an NES game. My dad was an NES player.
My parents took away my power cord.
Yes, parents took away my power cord. There was like N64 enthusiasts, Wii enthusiasts,
Yeah.
other things like that. There's several
Retro
pages.
enthusiast. Yeah,
There's several pages.
I picked Game and Watch generation.
Yes. I picked playing with power for mine because I was like, that's got to be in there, right? Now you're playing with power. And you can unlock there's a very limited slate of avatars there in the beginning. You can unlock more by spending coins that you win in game from doing the challenges, as well as playing online.
Yeah.
You go.
I originally picked the old man from Zelda, and then once I earned enough
I
coins,
almost did that.
Once I unlocked got a few coins, I bought the old man that holds on to the final dungeon that has the guarding the Triforce. That old man from Zelda too. So that's my current avatar.
Mine is Wart. I definitely wasted 1,000 coins on that as soon as possible.
Wow.
So speedrun mode, Jesse's already kind of talked about. You do different challenges, everything from grab the super mushroom in Super Mario to getting the sword to racing in an Excite Bike. Some of them are very brief, like literally you can finish in 1 second or 2 seconds. Some of them 30 seconds or more. Of course, the timer is going to run as long as you're playing, and you're going to get a grade based off those, all the way from A plus. Is A plus plus the highest A plus rating before it swaps over to S?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I think there's 2 pluses.
So there's A plus. At least
I haven't seen a triple plus.
Right. I haven't either. And so based on how well you do, you'll get coins and additional pins that you can then set as your favorite. From there, if you do a couple of challenges there, you'll unlock the weekly competitions and the update today when you put the game in, or if you had it before the new update that was day 1 update today, added survivor mode, which is where you play against ghosts of people who have already completed the challenge. You have the silver cup and the gold cup. And then there's also, like I said, the weekly challenge. You just do like 5 randomly selected, or they've picked them, but it's 5 challenges. You do them as fast as you can. Those are going to change every week. And then it's going to put, I liked this, that's going to put a worldwide leaderboard up, but also an age-based leaderboard, like a birthday-based leaderboard up for those.
That'll be the interesting one for us older
Yes,
people.
it will. It will. So those are the details of the game. Be honest here. There's not a lot of meat. That was one thing. I mean, I guess I kind of expected that, but like you do
I think
168
the
challenges
meat,
or so.
The meat is in the multiplayer.
They want you online. There's also a party mode that you can do, like survival style, with 8 people, and that counts the first player. So 8 people can play like couch co-op party mode. Justin, what are your thoughts after spending some time with World Championships?
I think it's okay. Is sort of the way that I would say it. It's okay. I think it is very it's very niche to a specific audience, which is our generation, nostalgia NES gamers, right? Who have these connections with it. I don't know. Like if I gave it to my daughters, you'd be like, why are we doing this?
Right.
I don't understand. So there is sort of a niche audience that it is definitely aimed at. I think to your point, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of meat there for sure. I find like I go in, I do the challenge, and I will do the challenge basically twice. Right? Here's what I got for my personal best. I will try and beat it one more time. I did or did not. Moving on. Right? I'm not a person who has to be like, I need S tier for all of this. And if you have a personality like that, then man, you're gonna love this game. Right? Like this game's dangerous for you.
That was my way going in, but only with A tier. A or better, I'm fine. So if I ended up with a B, I will replay it. If I got an A, next game until I ran out of coins, and then I had to start doing other things.
Beer asks a great question. Is it worth the $30 price tag? So I will say this, Beer. If you have people that you could maybe like you have a bunch of family or a bunch of friends who maybe are NES gamers and you want to play together online or multiplayer, there's definitely some this goes back to our other conversation. Are you a multiplayer couch co-op? Are you a single player? Right? If you're single player, I don't think that's where the fun is. I don't know if that's where the crack is, right? But if you're a multiplayer couch co-op and you have people over, you're challenging each other, I think that's probably where the fun of this game is.
Well, there's the online part too, right?
Yeah, so and the online.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot. There's different ways.
None of the onlines is head to head. Everything is you're chasing ghosts. You're chasing ghosts or you're chasing a leaderboard.
And it's not your friend's ghosts, correct?
I think it's just random ghosts.
It's random ghosts.
So you can't set up a room or something for everybody to play in online?
No.
So I think going back to your question, Beer, is it here's what I believe. And again, big thanks to Nintendo for providing us code, right? And I want to be fully transparent here. I believe that this game would have been a great addition to Nintendo Switch Online. I believe that's where it lands really, really well. Yeah. I believe that where they're making their money on this game is the physical edition, right? The way that I sort of look at this, and I hate to be a jerk when I say this, the game costs $30, the physical edition costs $60. So you're spending an equal pricing in regards to the physical part of it, which goes to tell me there isn't much meat and bones. There isn't much meat there, right? So we're going to make it up in pins and poster cards. And by the way, those are awesome. Those are like, I watched Marty's unboxing. I was like, man, those poster cards are awesome. And I would love to frame those in my office. Those look incredible, right? And if you're in Japan, you get the Joy-Cons, man, there's such a value add there, right? So, but what I see from this is I think Nintendo knows there's not a lot here. So we're adding value. We're packaging in more. It's sort of like, if you remember back to the Wii days when it was like Wii Sports or something, and they included in Wii Sports, Wii Play. And it's like, and by the way, you also get an extra Wii remote. You're like, oh, there's the value. Yeah. Right. I get the Wii remote is $60. The game is kind of $20 worth.
Unless there's something else coming down the pike, I'm going to agree with you here.
Yeah.
I love the presentation of it, but like I'm looking at the single player aspect of it, and other than like dipping into it and doing the weekly championship, what am I going to do after I finish the challenges? Because I'm like you, I'm not going to go back and like obsessively S tier everything. I can't. Yeah. Number one, I can't. It's a skill thing. Yeah. I'm not going to do it. But
I think the question goes back, and he asks again, would you have paid $30 for it if you didn't get the code? I'm going to say this. I probably would have bought it if I didn't get the code. And the reason for it is because I believe, much like a Mario Kart or a Mario Party, that's where I bust this out. Right. And so I imagine like we're all playing Extra Life together, right? We're in a location together. Guys, we're going to do the NES World Championships. We all had NESs growing up. Let's hit these championships. Let's play online couch multiplayer. That's about a bit of fun and crack, right? You're going to have some laughs. You're going to have some kind of, joking about it. It's going to be worth your 90 minutes of playing together right there. So that's sort of the category I put it in. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm never going to be like, yo, Man, let me tell you the sick experience I had in NES World Championship. There was this, that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Right?
So this product is for the same people that the NES Classic was for.
Yeah.
And be honest, how many of us who got an NES Classic still play that today?
I never got an NES Classic, but I got a SNES Classic, and it is a fantastic paperweight right up there.
Yeah, I know. And that's my point, is like, these games, if you want to play them, are most of them, all of them are available on NSO.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to buy this to play them. This is a nostalgia like flag, right?
Yeah.
This is the pulling on the nostalgia chain, and that's okay.
Yep.
I mean, like, as a person who grew up in the era of the NES, I love this whole idea.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know, like, my question is, are 5 pins, an acrylic stand, a plastic game cartridge, and that's a shell, and 8 art cards or 13 art cards worth $30?
Well, I'm always going to say to you that it's worth, the value of something is whatever it's worth to the purchaser.
Right. Sure. Now, so
I would be very interested in understanding Nintendo's margins on this game.
I think that Nintendo, this is another game for Switch that they have put out this console generation, where the idea is great in execution and it sounds good in a meeting, but the support for it, like the tail on it, is not as long as they think it is. Nintendo Switch Sports is another one of those. If you didn't have that like hardcore, I have to get all the outfits thing,
yeah,
there's no tail, right?
I love this question. So a couple things. Beer says, hey, I was thinking about getting it for Monthly Mayhem. I'm rethinking it now. So there's a great example, Beer. So like, you would have you're doing it for a community event, right? And so long as you're like sharing those times and like you're challenging people and you're part of that conversation, then there may be the value